Okay, let me make sure that stream, the one we're on, is the one I connected to. I think so. Okay, yeah, I think it's
Chat, is this real?
Chat. I'm so sorry, chat. We were supposed to be live like 30 minutes ago, but we've been, or not we. I've been throwing, and by I mean my fucking thing.
The MacBook is not it.
Yeah, the MacBook is not it. Also, apparently the stream starting screen just immediately kills it. Oh, Narrow's back. There we go. Okay, let me check chat and make sure they can hear us.
I can hear us on my end.
Okay, well, let me send this fucking stream for the last time to like 45 billion jillion different people. Get a shareable link. Just so we can get people in here.
We're so back.
Chad, I missed my ult.
Okay.
Chad, I fucked up hard.
What are you playing?
I'm playing Sharky Zero.
Oh, bro,
that was quick.
Oh my god.
Okay, chat. We need to make sure you guys can hear us before I start. So please, somebody. Oh, Sonics is there. There we go. Sonics, can you hear us? I hope you can anyway. It'd suck if I finally got it working and then you. Yeah, I know True can, but I just want to make sure. I can hear. Okay, there we go. Finally! Thank God! OBS is just not on my side today.
Thank God. The cast.
Thank God. The cast of gods can continue. We'll probably be an hour longer than we normally would have, but, you know, it's fine.
I got my anti-fight.
So,
it's not my fault.
Chat, we're going to be talking about a matchup. I think that's pretty kind of infamous.
What's the match anymore? I've forgotten.
It's Garlic Jr. from Dragon Ball Z Dead Zone fame versus Omnipotus from Invincible. True, do you want to explain the theme of this matchup and why we're doing it?
Okay, so honestly, yeah, they're big bads, they're funny little guys, but the main reason this matchup exists is because both of them, in the waiting period of Bardock versus Omni-Man, had very infamous feats that were very debated upon. So consider this the sequel to Bardock Omni-Man that everybody wanted.
It's also funny because Shrew is like the ultimate Omnipotus glazer, and I'm the ultimate Garlic Jr. Glazer. So, I think it's fitting.
Yeah.
I just realized I didn't get to introduce our newest guest. We have Narrow Triangle. Say hello.
Hello. Yeah, I edit for the show sometimes.
You also, I think, did you write Jing Liu's analysis? I think you did.
I researched Jing Liu.
I
just copied and pasted everything into into the script.
That's probably true.
That is true. I know that's exactly what happened.
Alrighty. Well, without further ado, I think I'll give a kind of a basic introduction of who Garlic Jr. is, because I imagine he's not very well known by most people. Garlic Jr. once had a father named Garlic. You know, pretty fucking awesome name. Garlic was a serpent, which in Dragon Ball's like kind of just essentially a Namekian again. It's kind of the same thing. He was in competition with another Namekian to become the Guardian of Earth, trying to become an apprentice of Kami, who was kind of like the overseer of Earth. He's a Namekian. But he was skipped over, which really pissed off Garlic. So he formed a army of demons and shit, and he was going to overthrow Kami, but Kami saw that coming, so he sealed him away, and he leaving Garlic's son, Garlic Jr., the goat, to be the new front man and kind of ringleader of the army. And he stated he would take his revenge on Kami in 300 years' time. And that's where Dragon Ball Z Dead Zone kind of picks up. So Garlic Jr.'s main goal, and he does actually succeed in this, and I'll get into this later, he wishes upon the Dragon Balls to get immortality, which basically means Garlic Jr. just can't fucking die. No matter how many blows you give him, he will just keep coming back. He cannot die from conventional means. So yeah, I think we'll get into this more later, but I think Garlic Jr. is actually going to mop the floor with Omnipotus in a way Omnipotus can't really fucking do much. But I'll let True actually explain who his opponent, or who Garlic Jr.'s opponent is. So take it away, True.
Right. So, Omnipotus is not a very well-known character and doesn't have a ton of lore. He's a character shrouded in mystery. He is known as the Shaper of Worlds, thanks to his very unique power set of punching things very hard and basically using destruction energy. What he is able to do is he's able to power his psionic and physical abilities. And his psionic abilities are pretty much limitless. I'll get into that more later, but they're pretty crazy. Can probably beat this stupid idiot's immortality. For actual lore, he destroyed his own universe to power himself up, and then his main thing is looking for the warp key, so he can get pretty much interdimensional travel wherever he wishes, eat as many universes as he wants to sustain himself. He keeps feeding and feeding to gain limitless power, and so that limitless power will allow him to crush Garlic Jr. no matter how many Dragon Balls he's wishing upon.
Dragon Balls.
Dragon these balls across your face!
What were you saying, Ghost?
The dragon's what?
Balls? I'll let Nero actually take the floor. Where do you kind of want to lead the discussion going forward for the rest of this?
Put me on the spot. Right?
Yeah. I mean, and the Ghost got to lead the conversation last time.
Okay, so from what I'm hearing right now, Garlic Jr., his one advantage Aqua says right now is that he's immortal. And True is saying that he has unlimited power. So how strong is Omnipotus exactly?
Ooh, Omnipotus, I'm glad you asked. So, I would like you to meet a little man. It's one of Omnipotus' signature nicknames. Meet Guidebook Man.
Okay.
So, Guidebook Man here has a very blatant statement that's very important to what limited we know about his character. He drained and destroyed his own universe. That's his big thing. That's like his one big thing. He also, in that exact same guidebook, has the statement that he has laid waste to a star system. And we know that after he destroys things, he absorbs them to enhance his physical and psionic abilities. Meaning that he's almost 100% like universal at his peak, which obviously we are taking him at. Duh. It'd be stupid not to. So he's like at least uni, which is kind of nuts. The only reason most people in Invincible don't get scaling to that is because there's a lot of fluctuation with his power. He tends to kind of drain himself a little bit when he's not feasting. But in this fight where he's going to have, that power, that incredible strength, it's gonna be uni. So yeah, we're looking at a universal character.
Ooh, a universal. That's some tough talk, buddy.
Oh,
Buddy old pal.
Dormaz is saying, can you make the other
I did while True was talking.
Okay.
Hopefully that's better, people. So, I have my counters to what True just said. But I guess I can talk about Garlic Jr.'s own inner strength a little bit. So, Garlic Jr. appears twice. He appears in his own movie, Dead Zone, which is supposedly around the same time, I believe. Well, it's not really canon, obviously, because the movies in Dragon Ball aren't canon. But it's supposed to take place around the same time as or before the beginning of the Saiyan saga with Raditz.
Before.
Yeah, it's like before. It's like right before. But it's weird because it's like it basically does the exact same plot as the Saiyan saga. It just doesn't have Saiyans in it, which is really weird. They were not cooking when it comes to the movie continuity. But yeah. But more importantly, he comes back after the Namek saga, and I don't remember the exact quote, but I know it's on Garlic Jr.'s trivia, which is how I learned this about. One of the directors of the movie, just someone tied to Dragon Ball in general, stated that typically in a Dragon Ball-esque world, and when they introduce villains, they're supposed to be stronger than the last one. So Garlic Jr. would be weaker than the Goated Dr. Wheelo if we go by the movie stuff. But he does come into the picture as a filler character after the Namek saga and the Z anime. So he should likely scale to the likes of Super Saiyan Goku and Namek Frieza, which, you know, fucking Frieza is just a planetary threat. But even like basic Saiyans like Bardock and King Vegeta, my goat, can blow up planets with pretty relative ease. I'll actually bring that up on stream and I'll send it in the actually no, I can't, it's a video, fuck. But yes, if you've seen the death battle, it does happen. King Vegeta just blows up a fucking planet with a wing of the hand, which isn't exactly universal. I'll agree there. I actually don't think it will matter whether or not Omnipotus is stronger or not. But yeah, Garlic Jr., he should be at least planetary, probably higher. I don't actually know the exact ends of Namek Saga, Goku, or Frieza's power, but they are very powerful. At the very least, planet level. But yeah, I don't think Garlic Jr.'s main advantage will be strength here. It'll actually be a wide variety of different haxes that I don't think Omnipotus has a counter for. But yeah.
Interesting.
Ghost, do you have anything you want to lead us into?
Well, I guess a big thing of the debate is speed. How's the speed looking for these two?
I
I'm
guess I'll
glad
go
you
first
asked.
Again, I will. This one, admittedly, I wish I had the scans on me. I have the guidebook panel, but that's like all I brought. Basically, there are Invincible is very well known for its speed. We got people like Omni-Man leaving the galaxy in like weeks. We have Viltrumites going from the end of the Virgo supercluster and then reconvening around places, and it's a lot of good speed feats. The main one is definitely something Omnipotus can scale to. It is Adam Eve, a pretty kind of weaker hero, and Omnipotus is known for fodderizing the weaker heroes, as shown in his second appearance. So you know, Adam Eve, this is not one of the strongest heroes in the verse, right? Well, Adam Eve could keep up with Universa, who is not universal, but Universa was able to travel from our planet. Yeah, okay, Dorm, I'll send the guidebook picture in a second. But
I'll
send it when we get to abilities. Yeah, I'll send you it when we get to abilities. But basically, the Universa could travel from our planet to outside of the observable universe within a day. So, you might have seen this in the Death Battle Black Box, but yeah, she could travel to, again, in about a day, get out of our universe, because basically her planet, which she was traveling to, is outside of what we can see. And what, like, even people like Cecil can see. And, you know, Cecil, he's got a whole, like, program going on here. So, it's a very far distance, at least leaving our universe, which gets to about 31 trillion C, generally. So, yeah. Pretty fast.
pretty fast.
Pretty fast.
Pretty fast.
Okay.
Actually, I'm actually curious what the goated thing is, but like you said, you'll bring it up later. So Garlic Jr., he should actually upscale Goku from even before, like, it's during the Namek saga, but it's before he actually lands on Namek. So definitely a weaker Goku, but a weaker Goku could epically dodge asteroids in this filler clip, which I know people are gonna be like, oh, that's filler, it doesn't count. Sorry to say, Garlic Jr. in of himself is a filler character from a movie. We're gonna use it. So in this clip, Goku dodges asteroids, and the death battle that the goated that True just brought up placed that at 9.5 trillion times light speed, which is much higher than Omni-Man's own feat. And Omnipotus is, I don't know if I'd agree that Omnipotus is as fast as Omni-Man, but it's whatever.
Well, I didn't say Omni-Man, I said Universa.
Or Universa or whatever. I don't know if I agree with that. But yes, Garlic Jr. should actually scale to this. He would be much stronger than people like Gohan and Goku, who in the Namek saga were like doing stuff like this. So yeah, 9.5 trillion times faster than light is a good thing. There's also There's another trillion times light speed feat. I'm trying to, or not. Well, the go to the go to G1 block placed that at 2.82 trillion, but I think I trust Death Battle's goated interpretation of that feat. But there's also Piccolo in I believe it was earlier Z. It was earlier Z or it was in the original series, but Piccolo just blows up the moon, which is 54% the speed of light. So that's something to go off of slightly. So yeah, I mean you can get speed of light stuff in general for both, I imagine.
Yeah. There's a lot of like baseline light speed relic
Light
stuff in
speed,
Invincible. And then obviously there's like the billions and millions and trillions and thousands with a lot of space travel stuff. Thank God smart atoms allow for travel to scale to reactions. Thank you, great smart atoms.
Narrow, we talked about speed and strength. What do you want to move into abilities or do you have questions or what?
Yeah, I have some questions, I guess. So, okay, for both of you, I guess. So, True. So you said that like, is Omnipotus? You said is Omnipotus? Sorry, is Omnipotus like an energy absorber? Is that how he gains power or?
So again, Omnipotus, very ill-defined, but the guidebook is pretty generally direct in stating how he works. Is that Omnipotus destroys things, using his psionic abilities and his physical strength. By doing this, he then absorbs the destruction energy. And with this destruction energy, he becomes stronger. So he's pretty much creating an infinite feedback loop of I destroy something, I gain power, meaning I can break a bigger thing and get more power, and then it goes over and over and over until there is nothing he can feed off of.
Okay, right. Just want to clarify that. Okay. And then Aqua. So, something you said something that's interesting to me. You said that Garlic Jr. in the Garlic Jr. saga in Dragon Ball Z scales to final form Frieza.
Oh no, I didn't say final form Frieza. Did I say final form? I could have sworn it was just
I
basic
believe they
Frieza.
said Namek. I think
it was just Namek Frieza. He should scale. I know people are gonna be like, oh, well, Gohan still beats him. It would at least be reactions, and even in his goated like buff form, he should be comparable to people like Gohan.
I only say that because you said he also scales with Super Saiyan Goku, and like
I meant just Namek in general, just the
Okay.
I don't know if I'd exactly say because I believe when the Garlic Jr. saga happens, it's before Goku comes back. I'm trying to remember if Trunks happens and then they do. I don't know. I think it was before that. So
it was before.
Yeah.
It was before Goku.
So he. I don't know if he would exactly scale the Super Saiyan Goku, but he should scale to like stuff earlier on in Namek.
Right. Because I'm like, cause it's kind of hard to place where exactly. It's hard to place where Garlic Jr. is because I know, because his minions, when powered up by the goated Makio Star, they overpower Piccolo, who should be pretty even to second form Frieza.
Yeah.
So I was like.
And I do stand by him like being comparable or as strong as like Bardock or King Vegeta blowing up planets. So yeah, I was actually to bring this up when it comes to Omnipotus because I think it'll be an interesting thing. Earlier, True brought up the belief that we would use Omnipotus at his peak. Now usually I would agree with this, and I don't even think this is a major part of my point. But Omnipotus mainly gets his power from destroying things and building up power over time, and that's this is one of his earlier fights. I think this is his first appearance when he fights the Guardians of the Globe. He directly states he has to build his power up, and when he fought the Guardians of the Globe, he was actually much weaker than he usually would be. So I believe True said this earlier. Omnipotus has to build up to his power. He doesn't automatically start out in every fight. In every instance, at the peak of his power, and I agree that like
but there's a reasoning for that.
Let me finish this, and then I'll let you get off the back foot. So while I agree that like usually we would use a character at their peak, and it really isn't that big of a deal either way. When the character themselves, one of their major powers is having to build up said power and gain that energy, I think that would be actually a very important thing to factor in the fight regardless, because he wouldn't always be at his peak to begin with. But I'll let True get on it get off the back foot.
Well, the thing about it is that we've seen Omnipotus did reach that universal. Like, this wasn't a hypothetical thing. He's reached that peak power. The only reason he would not have that peak power is because he had to dimensionally travel. Multiple dimensions, mind you. And then, even by the end of that fight, Omnipotus was claiming that he was reaching that maximum, like, not maximum, but, like, he was going back to a level about similar, maybe. Obviously not fully similar, but, and, you know, he's a bit of a yapper. But he was gaining power at a very rapid rate. And I think it is fair to say that because we know he has reached that power, and the only reason he lost that significant chunk of power after he drained and destroyed his universe is just because he had to travel dimensions. In a fair, even grounds fight, he wouldn't have to travel dimensions to reach the Dragon Ball universe.
And that's where I want to actually move to abilities. I actually want to talk about abilities for a little bit, because if we're going under that, I think Garlic Jr. has some crazy stuff that even if we say, because I mean I think it's pretty obvious from what we said, Omnipotus at the peak of his power is stronger than Garlic Jr. It's not really that close. But I will say, having the immortality of the Dragon Balls means that no matter how strong, how much Omnipotus fights him or punches him, he would have to basically completely atomically destroy Garlic Jr. and leave no fucking way for him to come back for Garlic Jr. to not just heal and revive. I actually have a clip. Let me see if I can pull this up. But it's basically him just healing back from a hole in his stomach. So yeah, I found it. Okay, so in this Imgur clip, I'll post it in chat, and then I'll see if I can send it to actually I don't think I can, but I believe it's the Dead Zone movie, or it might have been the Saga. It's either or. I get those mixed up pretty easily. I mean, they're not very fucking memorable movies and sagas, let's be honest. But yeah, in here, he just basically heals a hole in his chest, and he could do that for most general attacks. He just being immortal gives him regen. That's just common stuff. It does kind of get a little bit weird in Dragon Ball because immortality can be very easily mixed up, but it's very specific with Garlic Jr. and I believe Zamasu as well. If you get immortality, you can just heal from attacks and you won't die from conventional means. So I think it is important to mention that, like, Omnipotus being stronger is a good thing, but he still has to build up to that power. I still stand by that, and I also think that he physically any opponent. Or, not any opponent. Physically, any attack Omnipotus deals a Garlic Jr. will just be regenerated. But that does actually kind of bring me into one of the many arguments I can use to actually weaken or even just straight up instant win against Omnipotus. So, there's this goated little thing in Garlic Jr.'s arsenal, and this is before he gets the goated super form, from what I remember. I think this is actually in the Saga, or it might have been Dead Zone. I know the Dragon Ball, or not the Dragon Ball. Yeah, the Dragon Ball show up in the Dragon Ball thing. There's a goated dragon Gohan's a friend with, but this is called the Blackwater Mist, and I'll show this on stream too. I don't have the exact clip, but it's called the Blackwater Mist, and the Blackwater Mist essentially mind controls anybody Garlic Jr. Wants by if they inhale it. So this is, I'll post it on the stream. So if they inhale this thing, the Blackwater Mist, they immediately become loyal to Garlic Jr. In this clip that I'll post in chat, he uses it to turn. He uses it on a bunch of basically the world to turn people evil. He turns Chi-Chi, Yamcha, Bulma, Master Roshi, and a bunch of others into loyal subjects of his army. So if you breathe it in, you are immediately loyal to Garlic Jr. You will do whatever he says. And this even applies to his army as well, just the general army. So if you use it, if the army uses it, they'll become it's even in this clip. You can see them just being loyal to the army. So yeah, if you inhale this thing, you inhale the Blackwater Mist, you're screwed over. You are now a loyal member of Garlic Jr.'s army. And after 24 hours specifically, they state this, the effects are permanent. Which, I mean, wouldn't really matter in a fight. But the effects are permanent if you're stuck like that. And the only way you can break out of it was like some weird water, I believe, on Kami's lookout. So yeah, definitely not something Omnipotus would have access to or know how to deal with. So that's kind of a major thing. And then I'll save my other argument for later because that's when it's going to get into a lot of different other things. But yes, the Aqua Mist is going to completely destroy Omnipotus' chances of even fucking fighting him, because it's like that's just an instant win con. He just brings that out and Omnipotus inhales it and dies, or not dies, just essentially dies. He essentially dies. He's just gonna be loyal to Garlic Jr. But yeah, I'll let True get on the back foot if he wants to talk about how he thinks Omnipotus is gonna win this.
We have no proof Omnipotus brings. No, I'm joking. So I will now post the infamous guidebook scan, and I will bring out the most powerful tool in Omnipotus's arsenal when it loads, but I'll just say it before it loads. Omnipotus is specifically stated to have transmutation on the molecular level. So, this does two things for Omnipotus. One, that mist dematerialized. He can molecularly manipulate that psionically to just remove it or to push it away, and he can even test the mist's effects if he so wishes to, because Omnipotus can create life where there is none. He can imbue life onto things that do not have it. He could make the mist real. He could make the mist alive. Go my mist, attack your master. But what's more likely is that he just simply disperses the mist. You're not gonna let he's not gonna be stupid enough to be like, this is some funny looking mist you just created, I'm gonna sniff that. He's not that stupid. He's a decent schemer overall. He's conquered worlds, you know. So he would probably understand, hey, this is a weird mist. I'm not going to let it touch me. Dematerialized. The other thing it does. So we say that Garlic Jr. is immortal and has incredible regeneration. Said incredible regeneration is only that of a chest wound and not getting slammed so hard with the power of a universe. But I digressed. Molecular manipulation would allow him to just spread the atoms of Garlic Jr., or not atoms, molecules. He could just move, he could manipulate him into be whatever he wants. He could turn him into a rock. He could turn him into a lamp. He could turn him into a nail. Not the Dragon Ball character, just a nail. He could manipulate the molecules.
I wouldn't know otherwise. I only know Dragon Ball, so thank you for specifying that. I wouldn't know.
Yeah. No, he could turn him into a freezer. Wait a minute. Freezer, no, yeah. But he could manipulate Garlic Jr. however he would want, and his mist, meaning it's very hard to argue that would be a win. And from what we discussed, Omnipotus is very slight. It's slight. It's not like enough to blitz, but it is like a 2-3 times speed advantage that he can use to either, get rid of the mist, affect, Garlic Jr. himself and, kill him. And that's, again, assuming this immortality is good enough to where he isn't, like, if he gets punched hard enough by a universal force that he has never felt before, that he doesn't just go splat, right? This is assuming very specific things. And with Omnipotus' slightly superior speed and ability to transmute things, it's, in my opinion, very hard to argue that this mist that presumably isn't that fast to be real. I would need to know more about this, but based on the images, it doesn't look like the quickest thing. And even with that immortality, Omnipotus has a counter. So, okay. Yeah.
Interesting. I'll actually let chat and Ghost and Nero answer questions. I do have some stuff that I got in the back I'm trying to pull up, but I'll let you guys ask questions if you guys got anything.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Can you read to me the bio of Omnipotus real quick? What is
the
that
whole thing
in history? Just the first paragraph in history.
Yeah, okay, bro. I pointed this out earlier. You wouldn't say this if Omnipotus is a predator on a cosmic scale, as in he is a hunter. As in he is a hunter. He is a hunter.
That's not what it says.
Oh, Chad, do you want to vote for a predator? It's stated right there. Do you want to vote for a predator?
I have a question for you now.
Yeah, what's up?
Did you just watch the Dead Zone movie?
Yeah.
You missed something. You're missing. I'm gonna tell you later. You're missing it on a really good feat in an earlier movie.
That's crazy. No, but you wanna call Omnipotus a predator? Who's the one with mind control? Who's the Cosby here? Cosby
That's
Jr.
insane. That's insane. I'm trying to make sure. Is
I
chat
believe
even
also say that
refreshing
the
anymore? I don't think it
character
is.
link-
Is
I
people
need
in
to know if
chat?
Aqua knows.
Chat, do you have any questions, chat? Nero, do you have anything?
No, I
Okay.
don't have any questions.
I'm trying to find because I know there's a specific instance of the mist spreading, not super quickly, but
looks like
it's about normal.
It looks like the mist is used in the baby arc in GT.
The animal kind. I would have had to get the Google Doc out. Yeah, I agree, Sonics.
Yeah.
Like again, like why would you guys go for a predator? Like, but okay, so yeah, so this is how fast it is when Garlic Jr. releases it, in the actual thing. So it basically takes over the entire fucking sky in mere seconds. Or not the entire sky, but it gets around pretty quickly. I'll show this on screen too.
That is pretty quick. But like, since it's moving at that speed, I think Omnipotus would be more, and he's a little bit faster. I think he'd be more likely to be like, oh crap, that's a projectile. Go my molecular manipulation psychokinesis, and he can make himself a path through it. He can just make a little parting way. He can again turn the mist alive.
Sure,
He's got a,
it won't let me.
I have a question actually for Aqua.
well, if it's
Okay,
in
what's
his
up?
thing, then he's
Wait,
on
sorry,
it.
Nero
So-
speaking.
Sorry. So what is the dead zone exactly?
I'm so fucking glad you asked me, Nero. I was actually building up to this. So the dead zone is this goated fucking portal that Garlic Jr. can open, and it's pretty awesome. I'll show the. Oh well, this is a Reddit video, but it's in this. It's a Reddit video. Thanks Respect Threads. The dead zone is this portal that Garlic Jr. can open by will. I don't even know if it's actually explained how he can fucking do it. He just does it. He goes, "Dead zone!" And this is stupid fucking voice. But it's basically a portal to another dimension, which is described as a space that numbs. Hold on, I have the exact statement. I'm trying to send this in chat too. Okay. So it's described as a space that numbs. Fucking hell, where did it go? Okay. Numbs the body and mind where no light can enter. It is a dark realm, universe, dimension, whatever the fuck you want to call it, where basically it's hard to fucking live there. There's nothing. It's just pure darkness, with no light. And he threatened to suck it. I'm gonna die. He threatened to suck everything, including all of Kami's lookout, into it. I believe the only way it actually was stopped was Garlic Jr. actually being knocked into the portal, but I think he came back in the Garlic Jr. saga. I don't remember how he exactly did it, but I know he does do that. But yes, it is something he could just open naturally. And in Sparking Zero, the best game in one instance, it sucks people in and it closes behind them. So I think that's actually going to be an important thing to actually counter Garlic Jr.'s strength, because he gets power from destroying things, but we know he can lose that energy because it's stated that he already destroyed his universe in the first fight.
Bear it back.
With True's running. In his first fight with the Guardians of the Globe, it stated that he already destroyed his universe, but he was already weakened by that point. So we know if you take him away from a universe he's already destroyed and has all that built up energy, Garlic Jr. could just send him to a world where there is no energy, there's no light, there's nothing he can actually build upon and get power from. There's nothing to destroy, and that would immediately send him into basically a world he can't fucking escape. What is he gonna do? If he does somehow escape, it's gonna take him time to get back to where Garlic Jr. is. We know when he got sent back through a portal in the first fight with the Guardians of the Globe, it took him a while before he actually got back, because he actually had to build the strength up again. So I think that's a major thing going in favor of Garlic Jr. right now, is just knocking him into the dead zone. And you may be asking, well, why would he think of this? Why would he think of this goated plan anyway? Garlic Jr. can sense ki, which is practically energy. So I think ki is energy in Dragon Ball. So if he senses that this goated fucking guy is massively stronger than him and has massive amounts of energy, I think he would probably resort to not trying to fight him head on and actually try to use either his army, the mist, or the dead zone to get away and actually plan a counterattack. But yeah, I think Garlic Jr.'s got his stuff up his sleeve, I'd say. But yeah, that's the dead zone. I'm so glad to answer your question. I've been waiting to talk about the dead zone.
Okay.
It just
So if someone, I know the only reason why Garlic Jr. like survived the dead zone is just because he's immortal.
Yeah.
You know. All right. But like, if you're strong enough, you can like resist its pull. Like fucking Gohan when he was a baby, was strong enough to like, resist the dead
That's
zone
true.
pulling him in.
That's
So,
true. You
like,
can resist its pull. It's a very weak pull in general.
Actually, hold up.
but Gohan could resist the pull of the dead zone, and Omnipotus is surely stronger than
That's
this
the type of
child.
shit they'd say in a death battle. But Gohan could resist the pull of the dead zone.
That's not true. Gohan wasn't there. He and Krillin
Who
fucked
was it?
up before the dead zone was out. It was Piccolo, Kami, and Goku that were affected by it, and
No,
they were
like, in the movie, in the first one,
Yeah,
first time around.
yeah. In the first movie.
Oh, okay, well. But then, yeah, I mean, like, I don't see
Well, whoever
Gohan,
it
like,
is.
Yeah. At bare minimum, I think Omnipotus can just, like, will be fine. Because I think he can kick everyone's ass there. Fucking go to universal power and all that.
And here's the best part about it. So the dead zone sucks up everything around it, right?
Right.
It would likely have to suck in Omnipotus's ship. Now this ship has a little function with it. This thing is a universe traveler. And travels dimensions using the warp key. Meaning, if Omnipotus and his ship, which he probably would, you know, if everything around it's getting sucked up, Omnipotus and his ship would go into the dead zone. And Omnipotus is stronger than the dead zone, so he resists the numbing effects because he's different like that. Let's be clear.
Fucking what?
Because he's different like that.
Again,
Again, this is all. This is all in the
numb to it because he's
hypothetical.
strong.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Again, this is all assuming he even gets in there, which is very unlikely. Well, he could use his ship and the warp key to get on out of there. Or, you know, again, I'm not sure how the dead zone is on a molecular level, but I don't know, he might be able to psychically close it because he's stronger. Being real.
Okay.
He's also has, his abilities are also, by the way, in the little guidebook here, they're reality altering. As in reality warping.
Okay,
He's a
so
reality
I actually want to bring this up because you keep bringing up this goated fucking reality warper Omnipotus is and how fucking goated he is. So, can you explain to me the one fucking time he uses the ability to manipulate reality, he makes rock creatures. That's all he does. He makes bitch-ass rock creatures. He's never once used this reality warping for anything actually meaningful outside of just making creatures. That's all he's done.
Mainly 'cause- well, okay, the way that the guidebook is framed, it is framed as somebody who has observed and has, you know, listened and has understood the tale of Omnipotence. He's used these abilities before. These are things he can do. This is what has been
But it's not
observed of
something he would
Omnipotence.
instinctually
The Invincible writers just hate him. Because he is, for Invincible's sake, as a story, he is a joke character. He is this all-powerful god who loses to Dinosaurus. He is able to do these things. The Invincible writers just hate him so much. Because clearly they had to have happened because in this guidebook, which is observing Omnipotus and his power, they saw him do these things. They're not making this up. This is a guidebook. The guidebook is canon. Dorm, kill yourself. No, I'm joking. But like, the thing for that is that the Invincible, he's a joke character. He has 3 appearances, like total, being real.
Yeah,
which
I mean both
is
don't have
why.
any.
Yeah. So, sure, obviously, and because he's the joke character, and they can't have him actually just body everyone, because then what that's One Punch Man. That's a different thing. So, what they have to do is, obviously, they can't show it, but this is what is intended by the writers. This is what he is supposed to be able to do, and has been observed doing. So yes, he's mainly known to make rock people and drain energy. That is what he does in the comics. But what we know from what has been observed of Omnipotus, he has these reality-altering powers. He has this molecular manipulation, which is even shown because he's making these rocks, right? These rocks people alive. He's conforming them into different shapes, you know? So that's even shown. That part's shown. And that's the part that's the most important. Because he outstrengths the Dead Zone. So that's not even like a big problem. Yeah. And yeah, yeah. And again, it is specifically stated to be reality warping, bending time and space specifically. If we want to get that deep and we want to alter, twist, or possibly even rewrite the laws of physics, the physic known as polling, right? That doesn't exist anymore. That's been rewritten. This is Bill Cipher now. Bill Nipotus.
Not Bill Nipotus. What the ass?
So yeah, the Dead Zone, if Omnipotus was pulled into it, there might be potential danger if he can't, get to the warp key and his ship. The problem is, he's not going to get pushed into there. He's faster by a little bit. He's stronger by a lot. He has reality warping, law manipulating abilities. Which again...
True, actually, I have a question about the Dead Zone for you. Does Omnipotus have any resistance to his body and mind going into a state of paralysis?
I don't believe so. He has his own world, right? So his world, right? Yeah. It is an empty void. It is drained. So maybe if you want to argue nothing exists there.
Yeah, no, because that's not the point. The Dead Zone is stated to numb the body and mind.
Okay, what does it matter? Because he's not going in there. Like, that's trying to flush a fucking brick down a toilet. That doesn't work.
So I do agree that if the ship's pulled in and he has the warp key, he could probably maybe escape the warp zone, or not the warp, the warp zone. That's a YouTube channel, dog. What am I talking about? The Dead Zone. But I mean, like I said, it numbs the mind and body. So he wouldn't even really be able to move there. The only reason Garlic Jr. really survived there was just because he's immortal. So I mean, yeah, bit questionable as to whether or not he would even be able to do that. But again, I do want to harp on the fact, while I do agree that like the statements are like, oh yeah, he can reality warping or do reality warping and bend time and space, I agree that he probably could do those things. The problem is that we never see him instinctually do that stuff. We see him instinctually in every appearance he's in fight hand to hand or use little rock creatures. And I find it really funny. I
show that molecular manipulation, which would allow him to, part the Misty Sea.
Right, but we don't see him do stuff like that. We don't. I don't even know if I'd call Omnipotus all that smart. Because again, in the way he dies is actually really fucking funny. He has
it is. He just gets
his fucking head chomped by a dinosaur. I'll actually send this in chat and I'll show it on the stream. He just gets his fucking head bitten off by a dinosaur because he wasn't paying attention.
Okay, let me find Garlic Jr.'s death so we can show that as well.
We can't die. He's immortal.
Yeah, he can't die. He's somewhere out there. Sparking Zero. There's actually a in Sparking Zero they have the goated Chi-Chi, Videl, and Bulma talk conversations. Yeah, stream. This is how Omnipotus dies. He gets his head bitten off, or not bitten off, but chomped by a fucking dinosaur. So that's how Omnipotus dies. But it's actually stated in the Sparking Zero dialogues that it's likely just because he's immortal that Garlic Jr. is somewhere out there. If you count Dragon Ball Z filler as canon, which wouldn't make any fucking sense because Dead Zone can't be canon and literally cannot fit in the timeline. He's somewhere out there and he never fucking died. So one of these characters canonically died, the other didn't. But yeah, I do want to, again, I want to harp on the fact. I think while I agree that, like, he definitely has the abilities the guidebook states, and I won't doubt that. My problem is that I was going to say Garlic Jr. I keep trying to fuck myself up by misspeaking. Omnipotus, I don't know if I'd consider him all that bright of a character. Like, again, his main fucking death is getting surprise attacked by a dinosaur and his head fucking
different, bro.
Chomped and then he just exploded. So
I actually have a possible explanation. I'm not, again, this is a theory, so take this with a lot of grain of salt. Most of the reason these abilities aren't shown, obviously, is because they just don't give him any screen time and he's the joke character. But perhaps it is because when Omnipotus first arrives in his extended fight, right, the first fight, he is notably obviously drained, meaning he's probably a lot weaker and cannot access these powers to their fullest. We don't know what happened in that second fight. All we know is that all the heroes got fucked up by Omnipotus. All we know is that they got screwed. They are cooked. And while he's defeated relatively quickly because Dinosaurus and Invincible are just, the GOATs. But the big thing is that there's a high chance that he used these powers because he was more powered up. He had that ability. And since he is going into this fight completely powered up, just like how we wouldn't say Garlic Jr. needs to go find the Dragon Balls mid-fight to go get him immortality.
It's a little different, but
I think, okay, it's not. It's either because he had to defeat. It's either searching around the universe to find the Dragon Balls, or it's absorbing a universe to get universal power. It's
We'll say we've been at this for almost an hour now, so if you want.
yeah, we can move on into our final arguments.
Yeah.
And
Sure,
then but I'll let if you guys have any more questions, we can answer before we move on to final arguments. I'm down. Do either of you have questions?
Have
no,
we-
I'm good. Okay, go ahead.
I'm trying to think of how to word this. Have we thought of the possibility that Omnipotus is a glass cannon? If he is his universal strength character, why is he getting beaten up by characters who are like Planet and
it is
like Star?
it is stated that his ability, like, so again, we have no idea where he was in the second fight power wise, admittedly. So there's a high there is a chance that he just isn't at that universal power, and I think that's what most people would argue, because he still is drained. Because to get to Earth again, sure, he was hiding for months, absorbing energy, but he was obviously drained from the trip there. So he is still. I don't think we've ever really seen him reach back to that universal power level that we are giving him for this fight. But I don't think he can be a glass cannon simply because the draining is specifically noted to increase his physical and psionic abilities, meaning his physical strength and durability should both be being increased with his destruction. And it is stated that the universe he destroyed, he also drained. So I can't see him being a glass cannon. I'm not sure on that one.
Okay, I don't think chat has any questions. Oh, sorry, Ghost. Go ahead.
I was gonna say. So for the first fight, how drained was he during that?
We don't. That's the thing, is they never. Again, this is the quick. Hey, here's the funny, super cool looking, but actually, we're gonna kill him next time we see him. Character. We don't know how drained he was. Apparently, he was getting close to his power by the time, like he was getting somewhere towards the end of the fight before he got sent away using a robot's warp key. But yeah.
I have one more question for you.
Alrighty.
Are there any other immortal characters in Dragon Ball that could be comparable to Garlic Jr.'s own immortality?
Zamasu is one I brought up. Hold on. I actually think there's a whole wiki page about immortality for Dragon Ball 2.
How good is Zamasu's immortality? Because they both wish to be immortal by Shenron, right?
They did do that. Hold on. I'm trying to...
Their immortality then should be at least comparable.
Oh, Master Roshi's also one, too. He possesses eternal life.
Master Roshi's not a Dragon Ball thing. he just talks like that.
The one thing that can stop immortality is Hakai just like getting
right,
deleted
existence
from
erasure.
existence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Janemba apparently has full immortality. I don't know if that's true. Future Zamasu does, yeah.
He's just a guy who has a bunch of evil energy in him.
Yeah, but yeah, there's the only character that I think is directly comparable to Garlic Jr. is Zamasu. I'm actually trying to remember. I believe they couldn't actually beat Zamasu in the manga. He had to fuse, and then they had to have fucking Zeno show up and existence erasure him. So, yeah, I don't know if there really is anything more to that. I think you would have to completely fucking existence erase Garlic Jr. to really kill him. But yeah, that's I think it's pretty simple. I think we can move on to our final arguments. Drew, do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
I've been going first the entire time, so I'll finish it off strong.
Okay.
Omnipotus is a powerful fighter. Garlic Jr. cannot kill him via his physical means. He is simply not strong enough. This incredible strength that Omnipotus possesses also counters the dead zone, as he will not be able to be pulled in. In fact, I believe in the first fight, they struggled to pull him through the warp key that pulled him back into his universe. So, like, he's able to resist powerful pulls. The Mist could become threatening. However, I believe if Omnipotus saw an attack coming right at him, something moving as fast as the thing does, and with his higher speed and psionic abilities that we have seen in the comics, molecular manipulation, he could molecularly move away the Mist and keep himself safe, which is I think that is completely fair to say of him. And then that same molecular manipulation also allows him to counter Garlic Jr.'s immortality. Even if, for some reason, he cannot kill him via physical means, he can spread his atoms out to where he is just not able to fight. He can transmute him into something else. He can do all of this manipulation that would just cause Garlic Jr. to be incapacitated and not able to fight. Finally, he has abilities that are above anything Garlic Jr. has ever dealt with, to my knowledge. I don't think he's dealt with a reality warper bending space-time, apparently, at Omnipotus' highest ends. So I just don't think Garlic Jr.'s win cons, they're possible, but I think they require a lot of circumstance that Omnipotus, when all Omnipotus has to do is just molecularly move, boom, you're transmuted now. I think it's a lot simpler to say that, especially with his higher strength and higher speed.
Alrighty, fair arguments. I guess I'll move on to my final Garlic Jr. kind of thoughts, and then we can start pulling up the poll in chat. So, from this cast, I think we've very much established that me and True both agree that Omnipotus is stronger physically. It's not even a contest. From what True said earlier, Omnipotus is slightly faster, which is fine. But I don't think it's a massive speed gap that's going to matter all that much. I do want to stand by this fact that I think Garlic Jr. is naturally kind of an underdog here in that, like, he's definitely weaker, and he's going to have to deal with a way harder opponent otherwise. But I think he has just the right abilities and hacks to take care of Omnipotus and put him in a state where he wouldn't be able to fight back all that much. I agree that Omnipotus can resist the dead zone, but you're also forgetting Garlic Jr. isn't fighting alone in this fight. He would have his army, who can also spread the goated fucking mist. That's not, it's not just Garlic Jr. who has this. This mist can be used by literally anyone, and I still really haven't seen a counter to it ever being used. I think when you're surrounded in this fight, because that's really the biggest issue Omnipotus is dealing with. While he is stronger than everybody, he's being surrounded by an army he can't really do much about outside of kind of move him away or use his made-up reality warping abilities that he definitely has and uses.
He also has his own army, because he can create the rock creatures and create life where
that's the thing. He has to resort to creating rock creatures and doing all these things. And while I agree that he has these powers, the instances we've seen him fight somebody, he can't. In the first instance, because the second instance is a little bit weird and kind of a bit of a weird context, because he explicitly states in the second appearance of him, he came back prepared. Because the biggest problem that happened when he first fought the Guardians of the Globe, was that he came unprepared and had no way to actually, like, he had ways to beat them, and he still did fine, but he was unprepared. And it was when he got sent back to his own universe that it became a problem. He had to build all that power up again and then come back and traverse to the Invincible world. It wasn't an instant comeback. And
the preparation he did.
I'm trying to finish my argument, True.
I don't. No.
No. So I think the major issue, to kind of just sum it all up, and why I think Garlic Jr. is going to win this, while Omnipotus is stronger and is slightly faster, Garlic Jr.'s army has a way of just immediately convincing Omnipotus by just inhaling the mist. He immediately becomes loyal to Garlic Jr. He doesn't have a counter to that other than messing with its molecules, which I think will be kind of hard when you're surrounded by people who are about as fast as you, even if slightly less so. He has a dead zone that, again, can, if Omnipotus ever ends up in the dead zone, it's kind of just over for him, because his mind and body is numb to the point where he can't really act. He doesn't really have much to do. Even if he could come back, he would just be too numb to do anything. And the main reason I think Garlic Jr. is going to come up with this strategy first is his key sensing. He will sense that Omnipotus is way stronger than him, and with his immortality, I think he will have ways and more chances to heal back up and find a different way to catch Omnipotus off guard. Because again, the major death Omnipotus has is having his fucking head shoot off by a dinosaur and exploding. I think Garlic Jr. has just the right amount of haxes and an army that will let him win this fight, even if it's going to be a very, very tough one to win. And I think both can definitely do it, depending on the context and the scenario. But yeah, that's my closing argument. I will now bring up a poll for chat.
All fair points.
If it'll let me pull up a poll for chat. And I will, I guess I'll ask Ghost first, and then we'll move on to Nero. Ghost, who are you voting for?
I'm gonna pass it to Nero. Actually, can me and Nero discuss this?
Go ahead, feel free.
Alright. I would like to point out that Garlic Jr. is also an idiot. I'll explain why right now. So his entire plan in the Dead Zone movie is he wants to gain immortality. The first thing he does is get his minions to beat up Piccolo and kill him. And if you know anything about Dragon Ball, if you kill Piccolo, the Dragon Balls go away. So what the fuck was that plan, dumbass?
Okay. To be fair, he told them to injure Piccolo, not kill him.
Okay, but the intent was to kill him and then use the Dragon Balls. No, yeah.
Is chat even voting? I'm looking at the poll right now. This is 0%. Chat does not want either to win.
I do want to give Garlic Jr. a little bit credit though. When he does come back in the filler, the first thing he does is not only get rid of Kami but also Mr. Popo.
That's racist.
What?
Hey, True,
That's
can you read the
racist.
history real quick?
Yeah, no, but that's racism. That's bad.
I'm trying to use what they've shown because I also read the Garlic spec thread, and there's something Aqua just didn't bring up.
That's true.
Okay.
I probably didn't bring up something. I'm sorry. I'm not sitting down and watching the entire Garlic Jr. saga for this.
What did
not
Aqua
entirely
forget?
need to touch on with the GIF Aqua showed. The GIF the fucking mist just needs to be the general area, and it converts people. It can also be transferred by saliva.
Oh
And
right,
if
the
anyone who's
zombies. I forgot about. You're right. Yeah.
So Garlic Jr. is gonna hawk two at Omnipotus?
Not only him, but his army. If the mist is out and Omnipotus is spreading or making it so it's not touching him, all the rock people are also going to be affected.
Okay.
But what if he just transmutes the mist into a bird? You didn't think about that one.
Show me
Clearly.
scan.
Mist bird.
But also,
Oh yeah, it's called the guidebook. Guidebook man. We all know him. We all love him.
also layered mind manipulation too, which
That doesn't help. He's not going into his mind. He's molecularly moving him and moving his
he has to
molecules.
molecularly move the mist, and then have the mist not be in his general area at all. But that's also not a Garlic Jr. first thing.
So it goes back to the goated question: who are you guys voting for?
Right. Okay.
Zamasu isn't spread across the universe and regenerates, does he? That's not something he does.
Oh, does he? Or-
Because I know he becomes one with the universe, but I don't think that's
He
anything to
becomes
do
one
with
with it, but that's
mortality.
that's
I think that
that's
was
not to do with
specifically something with
molecularly and
Goku
mortality.
Black and whatever. I don't remember how he exactly did that.
Yeah, they
Goku Black gets fucking shredded or something, comes back, but
that's because of the time ring, right?
Yeah,
like a
that's the
different-
time ring. Time ring makes him immune to time shenanigans and stuff.
I thought it was just an immortality thing, because I know there's the thing where he gets cut and then he's like, actually I'm back.
Why would well,
Ooh.
Goku Black
I'm a
isn't
huge
immortal
fan.
because he's not.
I'm a huge fan of what Sonic's
was not
brought up.
Zamasu.
Such a big Quagmire arm.
No, Junior gets the mist towards our dinosaur friend.
Yeah, they go to
Well,
Dinosaur, bit his head off.
Dinosaurus isn't here. He's dead. Fuck that guy.
Hold up. You know what there's a lot of in Dragon Ball though?
Mhm.
What?
Dinosaurs.
That's true. That's true.
Ooh.
That is true.
They
There's,
are
the dinosaur
prehistoric times or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Alright.
True, is there any reason in universe why Omnipotus doesn't transmutate any of the people he fights in either fights?
people. Ghost, buddy, hand on
I
shoulder.
do not care if the authors do not
He
like
has
him.
nothing. No, he just doesn't have the screen time, which is a part of the fact the authors don't like him. He literally can't fucking show this because they don't want to show him, because then I don't know. He just, if they show him,
I
a lot of
think
true stuff seems to be assumptions and kind of iffy on if his dumbass could even do. This entire chat is fucking Garlic Jr. glaze. What the fuck is this?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't
This
know where the
entire
Garlic
chat-
Jr. glaze
I
came
love Dragon
from.
Ball. I love the Garlic Jr.
Okay.
What did he do? What has he done?
I think I've decided my vote now. I shall explain.
Okay.
Okay, so given like the stats you laid out, what you guys agreed on, Omnipotus is way stronger, kind of relative evenly in speed, whatever. And because I think it's what Ghost or Truce just said, but like, why doesn't he just transmute everyone he fights? I think he does. He doesn't do that because like I remember against the Guardians of the Globe, like he's like way stronger than them, and he sees them as beneath them. So that would also apply to Garlic Jr. So he wouldn't do his go to transmutation ability, and I think, and Garlic Jr. only uses the dead zone whenever he's backed into a corner. Against someone who's way stronger than him, he'd probably use it. So I'll give my vote to Garlic Jr.
Let's go. Okay, what are you going for?
What is the dead zone gonna do?
Paralyze him. I was also gonna say
He's not gonna go into it. Okay, whatever.
with the key sense Garlic Jr. has, I do not think there's no reason why Garlic's first move, especially it's something that he did when he got back to Kami and Mr. Popo, is just seal away.
Oh right, he can do that, like the little bubble things.
Literally, oh my god, we're just using outside info this entire. That's crazy.
Okay, to be fair, I still stand by my verdict of Garlic Jr. winning even without the stuff Ghost brought up.
They're just bringing shit up.
I've done more research on Garlic Jr. My bad. I do think though, Omnipotus super fucking whops the fuck out of Garlic Jr. It's just that he's not smart enough to just hit him with a transmutation beam instantly.
So I'm assuming by the tone of your voice, you're going for Garlic Jr.?
I'm sorry, True.
This is crazy, insane. Literally everybody here is like, I love Garlic Jr. No, you don't.
And the
What did he do?
And the poll says Garlic Jr. wins. That's a Garlic Jr. sweep, baby. Garlic Jr.
Literally not.
The
It
second
requires.
movie has a guy who fucking blows up the sun. What the fuck?
What does that do? What the fuck did wait? He
Let's
blows up the
go.
sun. Wow, interesting. Go my sun disc.
Let's go,
my
Garlic Jr. fans. We win
Garlic
today.
Jr. has no sun disc, bro. He has no sun disc.
If you want, no, because Garlic Jr. is the fourth movie. That's like twice the upscaling in strength and speed. If you go with they get stronger every movie villain.
Let's go, Garlic Jr. fans.
Twice. Shouldn't think about that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, all Mario fans. I failed you last stream, but today I avenged you by repping Garlic Jr.
That's crazy.
I think this matchup ends in a draw, actually.
Yeah,
I
I mean
think
that's
it's-
probably fair.
Now that it's all over, I still think Omnipotus kind of wins.
Okay.
I think it
Well-
requires. I think saying Omnipotus requires stupidity when I'm just using what is said that he can do. When it's like, well, Garlic Jr. needs to, despite his speed and strength disadvantages, fire this mist that can be I don't know.
I agree with Stripe
Both
says.
require
Stripe,
a lot of
Stripe
assumption.
just said, True be like, I hate Garlic Jr. before he tweets and all the Garlic Jr. photos he has falls out of his wallet.
That is true. I actually have a lot of Garlic Jr. My little Kenny. My little pookie
Well-
favorite Garlic Jr.
Assumption like, dude, what if this guy's universal? Like, became universal like once and never uses the power.
Well,
Oh,
chat
sure.
room.
Again, that
Thank
is
you.
because Omnipotus is just like a big joke character who I'm sure the writers were just like, what if we made this fire ass design? Corey, what if you just made this fire ass design? Yeah, make that, okay? Now we're going to make him the joke. Perfect.
Well,
I was
chat
gonna
And which,
room.
like, again, I think Omnipotus is great as like the joke.
If you use the fucking anime stuff for Garlic Jr., you Piccolo. Yeah, I look at the respect for it. Piccolo sees him as a threat. The same Piccolo who fought Final Form Frieza, just upscale him from fucking the universal statement he has. What the fuck?
Well, chat room, I thank you all for joining us for Garlic Jr. versus Omnipotus. Yay! Next week we'll be not next week. Okay, next week we're not streaming because Super Bowl's going on and people are gonna be busy. But the week after that, we're gonna be talking about probably the best matchup we're doing out of this batch of 3. We're gonna talk about Tetris versus Jenga. But until then, we will see you all next time. Have a good night, everybody. Later.